Everyone. So just let me know what kind of a pure English language would be preferred or a mixed language would be okay with you. Whatever you say.
Hi, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
English, a mixed language will be good to go, or English
All
as
right.
you prefer. We are comfortable in any which way you are
In
comfortable
which
with.
ways? All right. Okay. So let this be an interactive session where, of course, I will be very happy to answer your queries and also tell you a little, give you a walkthrough about what we are doing and how we got incubated in Ambition Foundation. So, namaskar, good morning. My name is Dr. Meena Mishra, and as you can see on the screen, I am a radiation oncologist by profession training, and also was pursuing my career full time till 2019. And after that, I have shifted to sort of part time and doing second consultations in oncology. And also, I'm the founder and CEO of or MD of Milantas Private Limited, and let me now take you to the journey. What is Melantas all about and what do we do? So Melantas, as you can see, it's a complete career selection and building solution through complete brain analysis. I'm sure most of you have heard something or the other about career counseling or a career counselor. And I'm going to tell you how we have come stumbled upon a completely different solution and that to a scientific one and a lot more objective. And our journey is solving a very big problem. And if you have, or any one of your known persons have undergone or faced these following questions anytime in their lifetime, like what are my strengths and weaknesses? Which subjects should I choose after 10th? Nowadays, even sixth class onwards, parents have become very uh, parents have become very concerned about the career or professional journey of their child even in sixth class. So I think in today's times even sixth class onwards is very relevant, and which career is suitable for me in later life after I finish my 12th. Sometimes when you are when professionals are in their mid career phases, they have this thing that they know that I'm not happy in my current job but don't know what to do next. So these are the questions that we solve through our service based product, which is known as Brainoscope. Milantas Private Limited is the company, and this is the service based product that we have devised. It is patent pending process, and it is also called as four-dimensional brain analysis. It is an objective and scientific method of analyzing an individual's innate and acquired traits. So this is these are the four tests that we do in a brainoscope. It first we do an electroencephalogram or a functional MRI, which reveals your behavioral pattern, the thought process, the learning style. Then a DNA analysis is done, which is a very simple, non-invasive test, very safe, reveals the inborn IQ. That sort of gives you your baseline. Then a third is the biological analysis that reveals certain inborn qualities that can align with your career choice, like whether you are a born leader or a born sports person or a manager. And so these broad generalizations can be devised through this. And no, this is not astrology. This is not palmistry at all. As you can see in the picture, you might easily get confused that this is a form of palmistry. No, it is not. And a psychological analysis that tells you about the present ability to face challenges, the personality type, the learning style, emotional quotient, and all of that. So now you may ask, after doing four of these tests, what do we do? So after these four tests are done, a report is compiled, and that report is then counseled to the client. So if it is a child with the in the presence of the parents, it is done, and we try tell you the inborn potential, the inborn characteristics of the person, and also at which stage of life a client is coming to us. Suppose there are people who come to us at 7 years of age. So at 7 years of age, we do not do career counseling. Here, the parents come to us with a different set of problems. So at that stage, we solve a different set of problem for them. And then later on, they can come to us for career guidance when the child is in that age of deciding the career stream. And there are people who also come to us at the age of 50, 55, 58 with a different objective in mind. So that we do. But as a company, we are focusing on solely on the students classes 6th onwards, because this is the age which is deciding and decisive for all the students, and parents are the most confused because there are so many career options these days, and the career counseling method that is available to us is just psychological questionnaires that are there, and there are different heterogeneities as far as the practice of that is concerned. So this is one standardized process, and it is patent pending. So this was the brief outline, but let me show you, also share with you the journey, how we have come across. So how we have come across. So this is a brainoscope slide. If you are able to see, just let
Ma'am, slides are not moving.
Slides are not moving. Let me change it for you.
Yes, now it's visible.
All right. So these are the 4 processes that I just spoke about. And I would also like to share the journey, how the concept of brainoscope came into being. So the story starts 30 years ago. There was a guy, a child in a remote village of Uttar Pradesh. After 10th, he was to decide between biology and maths. And those of you who know how the family system worked back then would easily know that once your parents have said something, especially your father, then that is something that you are bound to follow. So similarly, this child also wanted to take biology, but the father said that if you take biology and you do not become a doctor, then there is no point in taking biology. There's no future. But if you take maths, then there are many other options available. You can become an engineer, you can do something else as well. So he took up by maths because his father said so, but he lost interest in the studies. That was evident in the 12th board exam marks because he barely managed to pass. Then later on, he came to Allahabad University, did his graduation, and tried out different streams. But it was that point after 12th when he started thinking of devising a process which is able to tell, this is an evidence, piece of evidence that he could have shown to his father that, look, this is me. And if my personality type suggests that, or my attitude suggests that I should be taking biology, so be it. But he did not have that evidence. And that is the time when the seeds sort of were sown. And during his future career course, eventually landed up in AIIMS New Delhi, did his fellowship there, postdoctoral fellowship in the Department of Physiology. And that is where he saw that so many experiments are happening, so many new things are happening. And he did a lot of study at that time. And it was much later, that it was way back in 2015, that we started the piloting. We brought, because by that time DNA analysis was available in India. EEG was also freely available at a cheaper price. So a lot of things had to happen in those 30 years before it was finally piloted. And for that, we started a research trust, Brain Behavior Research Foundation of India, where we piloted this. It was paying from the first day, from the first client, but it was at a very subsidized rate. So we did 400 clients roundabout, and started getting results by 2018-19. We started getting good feedback and results, because whatever we had counseled for, or the clients that were done in 2015-16, they started, and they had followed what we had suggested. Then they started coming out with successes. And that's what, over the years, we came to get a very good feedback. And that is how we decided that now it's time to probably take it to the masses. But that could not have happened without forming a private limited company, because in a research trust, donations and grants are something that people don't easily give. So because it has a lot of social impact, that is the reason finally on 1st of July 2021, after much reluctance and much hesitation, uh, I had to sort of take a break from my full-time work and go into this, make this as a public asset. So that is how we started the company. And I would be now sharing the history when it was in the research trust. So while it was in the research trust, there was a lot of media exposure to it, and there was an online article in the Economic Times about 4D. It was, at that time, it was known as 4D brain analysis, and this was Mega Icons. If any of you have seen, National Geographic channel had telecast this series in 2018. So this was the first time when the person who has actually devised this got an exposure. It's because of his media coverage that the makers of this serial had approached, and they wanted to. That's how they decided to make Mega Icons, and they wanted to answer a very fundamental question: whether great talents are born great, or you can make a great talent. So these are the 5 personalities that they had covered in that series one. It's still available on Hotstar. And for us, honestly speaking, in a trust, that was a free ka marketing at that point of time. We didn't get any money for this. Dr. Alok K. Mishra is the person behind devising this 4D brain analysis. But we did get a lot of branding with this serial. So this is Dr. Alok Mishra, who is a clinical psychologist by professional training, and he is the one who had developed, got a patent pending. Patent is in his name. He has piloted this technique for this process for 6 years, and now it is transferred to our company, or MTAS. This is our I am the managing director, and we have done a lot of work in the field of mental health as well. So this is the team. When it came to who would be on board, so I'm happy and proud to say that ours is a women founders team. So Mrs. Vinita Sharma is my co-founder, and she's looking after the HR, and Mr. Subodh is looking after the technical part, and he has been with us since the inception of this entire process. These we have got wonderful mentors with us. Mr. Yogesh Andle sir, who is the founder of Nucleus Software, the first software company in India, and currently, and Mr. Pradeep Sharma, who is in SBI, and of course Mr. Vaibhav, who is our mentor, and he is actually the tech expert for IRCTC e-catering ecosystem. So we have got a wonderful mentoring team who have actually helped me in the product design. And why I'm sharing this with you, because if you can relate, if any of you can relate to it, that being from a medical background and no business background whatsoever, I was a very reluctant and a hesitant entrant into this field. I have to sacrifice a lot, but I realized that this is a process which is much required, and it has the potential to have a large social impact in our country. And a long-term impact would be that it will create enhance the happiness index of the country. It will create the metrics of good mental health and well-being in our country, because that once you are working in a field or in a profession which you are happy performing, and and it is effortless, then your chances of success in the profession is greater. And similarly, your personal life also matters a lot, is also affected positively because of your excellent professional life, especially with the current level of if you can say the current level of exposure that we have to various fields. So it is very essential that you get a good career guidance as far as the kind of field that is most suitable according to your brain type. Here I'm talking about the brain type, because there's somebody is a good artist, someone can be a good mathematician, somebody can be both. So how do you utilize your inborn talent and your inborn potential to your career? because that will give you an effortless performance. That was the reason I needed these kind of good mentors who could actually sit or walk through how to design the product, and which market to cater, and a lot of other things they have mentored, and they are still there with me. So while we were in the research phase, that was till 2021, this process was under the research trust. And during that time, we have already done catered to GAIL India Limited, where 25 senior managers had undergone this test, and for the right person, right place. They were new recruits and they were supposed to be given departments. So the director wanted to know what is their inherent potential, and so that they could be posted in that department so as to get a enhanced productivity, which they did get. They later on they shared, and as a result of that, we got their sister concern IGL. We got an exposure there as well. Then Patanjali Yogpeeth, in the Meghalaya Institute of Governance, and so many others opportunities. We also got an exposure to the students of DPS Mathura Road. And a level of, once the company was formed, then things started at a fresh pace. So our first achievement or appreciation was that we won the competition that was held in 2022 on the occasion of International Women's Day. So we got the first position. It was done by IGDTUW Foundation, Innovation Foundation, and from AIMS also we got an appreciation letter for the work that we are doing, as you can see on the screen. So slowly but surely we continued. I have to thank Innovation Foundation, especially Dr. V.K. Arora sir, who has promoted the organization, promoted our work to the various opportunities that we got on the way. So the very first opportunity, the one that I'm sharing, I've been giving presentations during my professional life, and this is the first time that actually I was giving a pitch presentation. So it's a different domain altogether. But nonetheless, it was the Triple IT Delhi Innovation Incubation Center, where my setup was, my company was selected for. So this is the first pitch presentation that I had given. And it was a good experience because things will not work for the first time. You have to, I don't know, depending on each to his own, how many times you have to give a pitch presentation. People have said that before they get success, there are hundreds of pitch presentations that you give. And this was the beginning. And I would say thank you to Dr. Arora sir for giving, for promoting us, for giving us these opportunities. So this was something that I did on my own. So this was the in-person audition of Shark Tank 2. My company was selected for this. I had given this audition, and now I can show this photograph because I could not make it to the final. Otherwise, you could have, I would have shared the recording of that program also. But I'm proud that at least, in 2021, I got this, and because mine is not a product, mine is a service-based product, which has to be, people have to be sensitized about it, and they have to be explained. So it is a long-drawn process. I understand that. So it will not be, I am not looking at making a unicorn out of my company, but yes, I am looking out at transforming lives, and money would be a secondary product, or maybe a byproduct of it. So this was one of I would say my biggest achievements that I have done on my own, and I feel proud. And I know why I had all the potential to be, on the screen, but why it did not happen? Because ultimately these kind of competitions are actually looking out for the amount of earnings, for your gross income through your startup. So all these things I am still lagging. I do acknowledge, but I am on the way. This was another opportunity given by the DST, by the Innovation Foundation, where I was, given the opportunity at the DST Amrit Mahotsav on 13th of August last year, as part of the 75 years of independence celebrations. And this is my picture where I am interacting with the head of DST, which is Dr. Anita. And I'm also going to share you a clip, again, thanks to the incubation center, that my product is service-based product, or this Brainoscope is now a part of this small film of DST. I'm just clicking. Just let me know if you're able to see it and hear it. So this, I'll just share it for you again. So I will just, this is the entire film. I'll just start from where it was, where our segment is. This is the entire film. It's available on the official handle of Department of Science and Technology. So I would say that even, even this much exposure in a government setup, where you can get funds, and it's sort of a introduction of your product into the minds of people, that is more than enough, especially especially when you are, you are a startup and you are looking for opportunities. Coming back to the presentation. This was the latest opportunity that we got. We were selected for the India International Science Festival that was held by Department of Biotechnology and DST at Manit Bhopal. And it was very recent, and few of my fellow incubatees also were a part of this startup, as you will see in the following discourses. And the good thing for us was that our concept got the interest of Dr. Jitendra Singh, our Minister for Science and Technology. He came to our stall, he discussed about it, and then he also mentioned in his speech, the following speech. I don't have it because it's still there with DBT. So I don't have that. But even with among so many startups, if he's coming to us and listening to our concept, I feel that itself is a sort of morale booster. So these are, as a startup entrepreneur, these are small things that give you, that maintain your motivation to keep going ahead, because there will come times when whatever you have planned will not happen according to your plan, and there will be shortcomings, but the important thing is that to continue doing, and these small things sort of take you back into the game. So thank you. This was a short introduction about my startup and my journey so far, my learnings, rather, I would say. And I would be very happy to answer any questions that all of you may be having, because I'm sure. Acha, Purnima Gupta ji, you said that you can't hear the video. Would you like to, or should I just paste the link here? I'll just paste the link here. You can have a look at it. So this is the link. This will just take you straight to the segment. Otherwise, there's an entire 4.5 minute movie. So if I could be of help to you, as a startup, if you wish to, and you are looking at becoming an incubatee here at Innovation Foundation. If you have any questions that you would like to ask me. Yes, Dr.
Uh,
Jasmine.
Hello, ma'am. Hi,
Hello.
ma'am. I'm Dr. Jasmine. I'm a dental surgeon. So, ma'am, I
Welcome.
wanted.
Welcome to the.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Firstly, of all the sessions, this was quite into the medical field. I really believe this was the very first session that it happened and we could understand because it's one of the healthcare sessions that happened. Ma'am, my question is who all can do this brainoscope, and like where can we do, like we can apply it on your site?
Yes. So that's a question, we get asked most often. So I would suggest that if you are or if you want to get it done for deciding the career, then class 6th onwards is the age.
Okay.
All right. And to any age. And even at this age, if I have chosen to be in this field, that is only after getting it done
Right.
and getting to know my traits first. Sometimes people know, but they are not able to, unless and until somebody else or some test validates it, they are not able to believe in themselves. So this, for those kind of people also, it's a very beneficial test. But for anything below 6 standard, that is the 11 up to 12 years upwards is what I would say. But below 12 years, so 5 to 12 years, it will be for a different purpose. Here the
Right.
parents come in, they want to know why the child is not able to study. The child is intelligent in other fields, performs well in other fields, but not in studies. So there are various reasons why they come to us. So we also deal with ADHD or autistic children. So here intelligence, we don't tell the intelligence, we tell the potential, we tell the special educators how to handle the child in an effective
Exactly.
way. So that is what it gives us. And I don't know if I would sort of label my startup as a healthcare. It has a healthcare impact in the long term, but right now we have positioned it in the education sector because that is what we
Okay.
are focusing on.
Right. And ma'am, how we can apply it? Like through your site only?
Through the site, yes, you can apply through the site. There is a phone number given, you can WhatsApp. And as of now the services are available in Delhi. So we have all kinds of people coming in from Mumbai, people from Dubai have come in, Hyderabad, so that we can Aurangabad. So those who want to get it done, they come, they fly in, and we coordinate accordingly, so that they have to just come in for a day, and before that we'll
Right.
coordinate. So for example, DNA test is the one that requires at least 5 working days because that is right now outsourced. But once we get enough funds, then things will be different.
Okay. And ma'am, can you share the approx costing? How much will be it cost?
So it's 10,000 including the
Okay.
counseling.
Okay, right. And ma'am, can you share if it's okay, like what was the minimum investment that initially has been done so that it can, to form all this, the basics?
So I would not, when it was piloted, I would say
Yeah.
when it was piloted, at that point of time, that was in 2015 onwards. So we were lucky to have got a lot of help, from very our benefactors in the trust. So somebody sponsored an EEG machine at that time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we could start off, because otherwise, even when you are in the pilot phase, you have got expenditure, you've got office expenditure, all sorts of expenditure. So I would say around 20 lakhs is what we look at in the last. And and that was, at that point of time, it was my husband who was doing it, and I was in my full-time job. So his salary was not coming, and whatever was being earned, and it was not 10, it was at a heavily subsidized rate at that point of time. So whatever we were generating would go into the office expenses. So a person's salary for the last 5-6 years is how much we have put into it on our own.
Ma'am, your husband is a doctor as well?
He's a clinical psychologist.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay,
Yes.
thank you
So
so
that is
much.
the reason. That is the reason he has designed this. Yeah. Thank you for asking. So anyone else regarding the business aspect of it, regarding the Anveshan Foundation, if you would like to know?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, Purnima, you carry on.
Okay. Ma'am, I have a question. With this, scope of yours, which you are, it has a great potential. I mean, as I can realize, it has a great
Yes.
potential. Have you tried to, contact or get in touch with the government agencies or the government offices specifically? Because I think it is required majorly. blindly people are following the government job thing, and when even if you're selected, you get a great position, but then you realize that's not my calling, or I'm just earning and doing the job, not interested at all into it.
Absolutely, Purnima. See, contacting the government is a different ball game altogether. The government offices, we have tried getting in touch even while it was still in the trust. So my husband has actually done a lot of legwork. He has done a lot of legwork while he was there because he was totally into this. But unfortunately, he has met ministers, the education minister, then education minister of Uttarakhand himself got it done, got his son evaluated. But it is the decision making is not always the minister. It is the bureaucracy that eats up all the efforts. So unless and until you have got those metrics into place, if you've got those metrics into place where you have got agents sitting in and being, we have our drawback. I totally acknowledge in front of you that we have only been studying our entire lives. Right now, at this stage when I am only already 18 plus years in my profession, so you can very well assess that I'm in a very senior position. So I, at this senior position, taking this sort of a chance of from full time you're going on to part time, and it was not a regular part time. You don't know you'd be getting a regular income, but this effort is, I would say, worth it because it's a patent pending process. It's a USP of our company, and it has already proven to have the desired results. And you rightly said, uh, but for the government part, it's they are a bit tough to crack, tough to convince, especially the officials that are sitting there. Very so we did get, I mean, GAIL, IGL, they are all government companies, but the leadership was progressive there. So that was the reason we could get in there.
Thank you for the insights, ma'am. One thing more, I am at a idea stage for this. My idea
Mm,
is regarding behavioral skills, communicative abilities, especially in the
mm,
government sector. When you go to the medium levels, to approaching to the higher authorities, the communication gap, the behavioral pattern, the basic, office environment. If you compare with the MNCs, the way you
mm.
work, the way you meet the deadlines, the way how you behave, that's just basic
Yeah,
human nature. That's very,
yeah,
very badly lagging. So if
yes.
I think about like yours journey, I think that I would might be facing this, hindrance approaching or convincing. I seem so that's why I'm also, a reluctant to go for this or not.
Now, the thing is, what exactly are you looking at? What would be your product? I assume it will be a service.
Yes, it will be a service kind of a training kind of a thing, brainstorming sessions, that those kind of sessions.
So that you can do, but networking is the most important thing that you have to do. Somebody who is networking and marketing. So somebody who's a you have to have a good marketing specialist in your team who would be doing the running around or who will devise strategies how to run around. That also is important. So in my case, I have been getting suggestions that you go and meet principals, you pick up the phone and you call school principals. But what I realized after two or three schools, I realized that nowadays, or maybe even before that, principals don't have any power. The principals are solely concerned with admissions and the smooth running of the school on a daily basis. They are not the ones whom you should go and approach because it's total waste of time and your effort, and you would not be getting anything. It is the management of the school who's the decision maker, and that is what you should target. So this I have learned quite late. I'm sure I know that the progress in such scenarios, because it is not a product, getting investment for services is a bit difficult. But if you believe strongly in what you are doing and the kind of impact it will have, you will have to continue till you get the desired results. You might have to change course. You might have to also take help of the technical platforms, in your service. So I think that is one thing that you can do. As of now, for us, we are not able to include the technology so much. It is technical, but it is not AI based, it's not so freely available on the internet, the entire thing. That we have in mind, we'll do at a later stage, but not as of now.
Great, thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, hi, ma'am.
Hi.
So I just want to know about now how Anveshan Foundation IGDTU has make a difference in all this journey, since we are also into the process of to be an incubator of Anveshan Foundation. So I just want to know how they supported it and what difference they have
Sure.
bring
Thanks,
into
Pallavi.
this.
Pallavi, is it?
Yes, yes.
Right. So Pallavi, getting into an incubation foundation for a startup is, I would say, a big achievement because number one, it gives you the validation of your concept. That is the point, first thing. An incubation center will take you up only when you are discussing your concept with the person in charge, and they are evaluating your business plan, and they are also letting you know that all right, whether this will be this has a product market fit or not. So even in the product market fit, they will help you, they will guide you to establish your business. So they provide you a lot of insights, they help you to also understand the approach to setting up the your business depending on which stage you are. So for us, because we were already tested the prototype, we were all I would it's somewhere between pre-revenue and revenue. The revenue is not that much because it is still trickling in. We don't have enough funds as of now. Our incubation center will be giving you funds as well, to start your business, to make a good start. So a lot of guidance, a lot of exposure. I would say the small journey that I have shared with you, in terms of giving exposure in DST, on the government schemes, all of these things, they come through Innovation Foundation without you having to actively look up. Otherwise, if you're not in a foundation, and if you mention, if that you are incubated under this, so an investor also gets a sort of a credibility factor is there. So they understand
Right.
that, okay, somebody has already evaluated your business plan and they think that it has got a good potential, and that is why they have taken you or this startup in their ambit. So I hope I have given you the
Right.
answer, and
Yes.
in this way, it has also given me the confidence. So whenever I'm writing, for any investor, I do mention that I am incubated under this foundation.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Welcome. So any more questions? Any more? You can ask the silliest of things that may not be having anything related to my field or what I have shared. This has been my journey, but our aim right now here today is just to discuss about how the Innovation Foundation helps startup.
One question, ma'am.
Yes.
Again, my is a idea stage, okay, and as we know about the guidelines, we got to know about some of the guidelines of the incubation center. In two
Mm,
months, we have to be registered as a private limited, and
mm.
even only after registering as a private limited, we can carry on.
Yes.
So my at a idea stage, not having a proper documentation or the plan set up right now, of course, I would not be going for a private limited because of
Mm,
the legal matters and the accounting things involved and the expenses involved in it. So how would
mm.
I, if you could advise, how can I go for it? How can I be in a incubation center? Because I need that, support and the validation and the mentorship
I
without
think
being registered for a private
as far
company.
this, because this involves a quite detailed knowledge of functioning of the incubation center. So I would really suggest that if you could ask Dr. VK Arora, sir, regarding this, how they could help.
Mhm. Sure, thank you.
And ma'am, one more question. This Braidoscope, what is the duration of the entire process if somebody wants to do it? I
So
mean,
there are two.
yeah.
So Pallavi, because it's available in Delhi only right now, so there are two categories of clients that we get. We get people who are from Delhi NCR. Then there are people who come in from outside. So for people who come in from outside, what we do is we ask for the DNA samples ahead. We ask them to post the
Okay.
DNA samples, and once we have the report handy, then we discuss with them the dates. Maybe on a weekend, they come in from outside. They can, come in, they can get the test done in 1.5 hours. And the same day report is prepared and the counseling is done by evening. And then they are free after that. They can fly back. For people who are in Delhi, that's not a problem. The entire test duration is actually maximum 1.5 hours. The counseling then would be after a week, because the DNA sample takes around 5 working days to process and get the report. Because at this point of time, we are outsourcing it. So once we have an in-house thing, then things it'll be easier. It'll be faster.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much.
So Rahul, are you there?
Ma'am, we say that Shark Tank is scripted. So is it really, and how much if yes?
So yes, Jasmine, I had this. I still have it, but I just saw this session of this season of Shark Tank, and I realized, yes, it is scripted. It is scripted. It may not be scripted as far as because what I have read is that the shooting, or you are seeing just a glimpse of the interaction with one pitcher. The actual interaction goes on for hours, and they just give you the bits and pieces that to maintain the briefness of that entire interaction.
Right,
But what I have realized is that the Shark Tank, they select businesses mostly which are product based. Hardly you'll see service based
yeah, yeah, I realize that.
things getting investment from them. And your your profit should be good. I mean,
Hmm,
the
I
financial
understand.
matrix has to be up to a level before they'll take you in. Although my interaction was wonderful, I had an interaction for 1 hour with them. They were the thing that I showed you, I shared with, those were the 4 people. They were very young, who were who tried to find out each and every detail, and it got them interested as well. But yes, I think I have to travel that financial distance to be able to be able to feature in these kind of shows.
Okay, right. Thank you.
Thank you, Purnima. Always there. So Rahul, if you are there,
Ma'am, I'm available in place of Rahul sir, so you
okay.
can tell me.
So Shruti, I think my session is over. There are no more questions to be answered. So,
Okay,
if Rashmi has joined, Dr. Rashmi, I think she is next.
yeah.
Miss Renu Shah is the one who is going to speak about her journey next.
Ma'am,
Okay,
we
ma'am,
can
I'll
end the meeting and we can join again at 12.
All right, it's that. If that's so, then thank you so much. Thank you so much for being a part of, virtually being a part of my journey. And it was wonderful. I wish you all the best and hope to see you in the incubation center sometime. Best wishes for your efforts, whatever you are doing.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thanks. Bye.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon. Enusha, ma'am.
Soon. Shall we start?
Oh,
Will it?
Yes, ma'am. Shruti, are you there?
yes, sir, I am.
Okay. Thank you, Shruti. You will be there now for the session. This session
Right,
also.
sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir, I'll
okay.
be there.
Okay. The participant for this session is by Renusha, madam. Madam is also one of our incubating and doing very great. Ma'am, I welcome you on behalf of IGDT Innovation Foundation for the session. And this session is for the participants of our Women Exploration Program.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks. Can we turn on the videos like for the moment so that I
Mm.
just get to know?
Yes.
Hmm?
Participants, if you can just turn on your videos. I'm out and was not having net.
No
So
worries. No
I'm
worries.
not-
I just
I'm
want to
just-
know
Yes.
an introduction, and after that we can turn off the videos.
Yes.
It's for the participants. Hi, Dr. Jasmine, Purnima. Who are the other participants? Dr. Shruti, are you also a participant?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. And what about Dr. Archana, Mani, and Medha? Komala, Divya, Meraki. Okay, nice. Pallavi. So I think your startup is called Meraki and your name is Pallavi.
Yes.
Okay, great. What about others? Are you also here? And can you turn on your video? So we'll just do a quick round of intro and then we'll move on. I just want to get a sense of where you are in your startups. And just like Rahul mentioned that I'm also part of the accelerator program, but I've also dabbled a lot. So so my understanding of the topic is there. So that's why. So let's just quickly start. Let's start with Shruti. Shruti, what do you do? What's your startup about and where are you?
Actually, I am just a first year student at IGDTUW and I'm a part of ECEL.
Okay,
I'm
great.
in the
So,
college.
do you have an idea you want to work on or you haven't thought about it?
Not
It's
yet.
fine. That's fine. Pallavi?
Yeah, hi ma'am. I am Pallavi Srivastava. I'm the founder of Meraki Creations, and it's a digital marketing firm. We started 2 years back and providing all the digital solutions that needs for a brand to be built, like digital marketing, search engine optimization, social media management, content writing, video editing, graphic designing, logo designing. So these all, and website development also. So these all services we are providing.
And where are you in your journey right now?
Uh, where how can I explain it? It's in
Good.
the development stage right now. So we are exploring new opportunities, and in Anveshan Foundation being there is the reason how I can scale up my business, how I can build the network to grow
Let me
my
ask you
business.
specifically,
Yeah.
are you in pre-revenue or revenue stage?
Um,
Are you doing any sales right now?
Yes. We
You're
are into profit. We are into profit, but
much?
not getting any investment from there. Like what we are earning, that we are putting back into our firm.
That's perfect. That's fine.
Yeah.
So you are making revenue, and how much of
Yes.
revenue are you making per month?
Per month, it's on an average around, I think, 30,000. It depends. Sometime less, sometime more. It depends on the client.
On an average, 30,000.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Purnima, you're on mute. Purnima, आप mute पे हो. I can't hear. Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon. My idea is basically at the idea stage, planning for sessions regarding the behavioral patterns, communication skills, the basic, how to go for a better office environment, that kind of sessions and training part.
You are at idea stage right now, and you're planning to do training sessions for companies.
Okay, great. Dr. Jasmine?
Hello, ma'am. A very good afternoon. I'm a dental surgeon. My focus lies in dentistry in India. So currently, I know the gaps. I know, but I'm like my main focus is dental students and the dental patients. So I have to come up with an.
You haven't, you're still thinking of what to do. That is your, you
Yes, ma'am. I have to come up with a business plan, like हर चीज को connect कैसे करेंगे. So that is something I'm working on right now.
Okay, great. Dr. Archana?
Hi, ma'am. This is Dr. Archana Tiwari. Actually, I am in idea stage only.
Okay,
I am right now, I'm working as a woman scientist under DST only.
okay,
And at IIT Bhilai, I'm working on my project. So from that project only, I got this idea of having a AI product
okay,
based on a disease. Yeah.
okay.
So that is in idea stage only. And actually, the thing is that, ma'am, I am outside Delhi.
No worries, no worries, no worries.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
no
I
worries.
wanted to have some ideas to start up. I have not, means I've just collected the data, that database. That is what my stage is right now.
Okay, perfect. Any stage is a good stage. Trust
Yeah.
me. Money? Medha? Okay, so, okay, I have a fair sense of people who are in the room, and I'm assuming that the others are also similar stages. So we are very close to idea stage. And so today's session on PMF will make some sense. So what I'll do is I'll go through the material that I have prepared for today's session. And after that, we can get into a question answers. I'll just share my screen, and I'm going to stop my video so that we save some bandwidth, and I will share my screen. You all can see my screen now.
Yes.
Okay, so here we are. And this Zoom is disturbing us, so I'll get this here. So today I am the founder of She, rather the co-founder of She. She is a platform which is connecting women in blue and gray collar segments with job opportunities. It's a digital product, and the way we are doing it is in a SaaS format. We can talk about this later a lot more, but I'll get to the topic which has been given to me today, which is product market fit. So let's understand what is a product market fit. Some of you said that you have thought of who your customer is. Some of you have thought of what you want to do, where do you want to place your product, or you haven't. So while you have thought of who your customer or your market is, you haven't thought of what is the product that you're going to offer. Some of you have the product and you are looking at where you're going to sell it. So if whether it is a training or it is a dental product or anything that you are doing. So a product market fit comes after product solution fit. So first we identify a problem and then we solve it. So that is called the product solution fit. For example, if I feel that the corporates need a training, and I go to any corporate office and I realize that, this is missing. They don't have the basic selling skills, or they don't have the basic HR skill. And so this is missing in this corporate. And now I have also looked at 10 other corporates, and this is what is missing. So I want to design a product which is about training, and that will be beneficial to all of these corporates. So that is product and solution. So you problem and solution. You identified a problem and you thought of a solution. However, the next stage is that once you design those training packages, and then you go back to the product, to your market that you have identified, and then you test whether that is something that they want or not. And that is what is called the product market fit. A lot of times we do a problem solution fit, but if the solution doesn't fit the market for various reasons, the product itself could not be good, or the product could be different that from what the market wants. Sometimes the pricing could be different. Sometimes the positioning is off, and that's why the fit doesn't happen. So product market fit is something that the solution that you have designed for the problem, and that has a demand in the market, and that is called a product market fit. So it's an intersection of what the company wants to sell and what the customer wants to buy. Before that, we are still talking of product solution. Wherever you all feel that I'm going fast or is something that you have a question, then you can ask me. Why is it so important? So let's understand, because it's once you have identified what your product market fit is, it's the first step in your startup. So once you have identified that this is your product market fit, that is where you start designing the growth. Now I know that this is something that solves a problem, and I know that there is a demand for this product. Now, how do I grow this? How do I start selling it, scaling it, and all of those things so that my company starts growing? It also, now you're at that stage that before this, wherever you are spending the money, it is going in research, or you're still experimenting it. But here is a point, you know where the money has to be invested, exactly who is the market, what is the product that you are selling, and how you're selling. So everything will be, or every single penny will be invested in the product that is in demand. Now, like I said, that you can start thinking about scaling. So for example, she has thought of all the digital solutions for a startup or for any other company. That is the product that she has. And after this, it is only a matter of scaling, because now you're not going to go here and there. All your efforts are there, and you will start scaling that. Today I'm selling it to 10 people. Tomorrow I have to sell it to 100, and then after 1,000, and then 10,000, like that. So all your focus is expanding, scaling it up, scaling it into new markets, scaling it to new customer base, and all of that. And that is how the company starts growing. Let's look at, actually, it would be a good idea to ask you all if any of you can think of any good product market fit, any product that is like really doing well, and it's a great example of a product market fit. If you've seen the slide, then you would have seen one product at least. Anyone? Okay, so I'll go on. See, here are some examples of a great product market fit. For example, Paytm, Flipkart, Ola. Now, Flipkart is an adapted version of Amazon and all e-commerce. It came into India first, and that's how it was able to create a space for itself. Ola, the car aggregator, Swiggy, the restaurant aggregator or delivery service, let's say. Netflix, when they realize that how people have changed in the way they're consuming entertainment and how they're consuming TV, it has revolutionized the way people are doing this activity now. iPhone, a great innovative product which has changed the way we interact with the phone. Apple and all the other Apple products are extremely innovative. And the reason that they are great product market fit is because look at the demand for these products in the market. Amazon or Tesla. So do you all agree? Paytm has become a word, like everybody talks about Paytm, acha paisa Paytm kar do. However, Paytm is an activity which is being now done by PhonePe, Google Pay, so many other platforms as well. But that is how Paytm came into being, because they realized that this is a problem, and then there's somebody who's willing to pay for it. There is a demand for it. So today, some of these companies are massive. And all of them are public limited companies, I think. So you can see that because they could design a product which was required by the market, it was solving a problem, and also it was demanded by the market, and that is why these have become great examples of good product market fit. But then there are also a lot of products which are not great product market fit. And one of the products that come to my mind is Google Glasses. I remember in about 2010 and 11, there was so much hype about Google Glasses. There were so many jokes around it, but also how it was going to revolutionize everything. But the product never took off. And so the examples that I have for bad product market fit are Google Glasses, Tata Nano, and Amazon Fire Phone. Some of these or rather here, at least in this case, all the three examples, they had a single common problem, that the pricing was not correct. Both Amazon Fire Phone and Google Glass and Tata Nano, all three of them were expensive for whatever reason. So Tata Nano, which was pitched at I think ₹1 lakh. By the time it got onto the road, it was about ₹2 lakh. So the customer that they were looking for Tata Nano, now the profile had changed completely. And that customer who could pay 2 lakhs could also pay 3 lakhs. And that's why Tata Nano could never take off. And similar thing, Google Glass, the challenge also was that the features that Google Glass had, they were a little ahead of its time. So sometimes, products fail because they are ahead of their time and somebody else does the same thing a couple of years later and it works. Also, Google Glass was very expensive while it was it was thought that it is going to be a mass product. However, it did not turn out to be a mass product. It was priced, I think, at $1,500, so which made it very expensive. Amazon Fire Phone did not have so many features. However, it was also expensive. So, these are some of the products which created a lot of hype before they came into the market, but and they were solving a problem. However, there was no demand for these products, and that's why they became classic examples of bad product market fit. Now, let's see how do we, what are the right steps of a product market fit? First of all, you have to understand your target market, develop an MVP, conduct customer research, and then you have to iterate on the product. And then finally, you measure success. So how do we understand the target market? We have to understand, once we decide on who our target market is, then we have to conduct researches to understand what are the needs, preferences, and behavior of that target market. In startup language, we also say building a persona. So these people, we are building a persona for these people, and based on that persona, we design the product. And there are different ways of conducting these customer research, like you can do surveys, you can do focus groups and interviews. I would like to give you some example over here. Are you all there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So let's look at a company which is in product development. And for example, if a company who wants to launch a new smartphone, it needs to research the target market's preferences, behaviors to ensure that the phone meets their needs. This research could reveal. So what is the research going to reveal? That it could reveal that what are the values of which the target market prefers. Is it a long battery life or high quality camera? So the company can design the phone with those features in mind. So for example, you have seen a lot of smartphones which are not talking about any other feature, but just camera, because they're looking at a target market which is probably 16 to 25 years old, clicks a lot of selfies, and have very hectic social circles, and which is where they want to share their pictures that they have taken. So that's why if you see the advertising of Vivo and all of those products is around the quality of the camera which is on the phone. They have not focused on any other when they are communicating, while there are other features also on the phone, but they understand, they know what their target market really, what is that one target market really wants, and that's how they are putting all their energy into developing a better camera and communicating it to the market. Let's look at another company, which is a marketing company, and let's say a clothing company that wants to sell its products again to young people, young adults. And they would need to do a research on their behaviors and preferences. And the research could tell them that the target market now is becoming very, very eco-friendly. They are talking of sustainability, eco-friendliness. So what the company does is that when it creates the campaigns or the products, again, the products are also sustainable and eco-friendly, and that is what they communicate to the market. Let's look at customer satisfaction. For example, a restaurant that wants to attract more customers and also would research their target market for preferences and behaviors to understand what are they looking for in a fine dining experience. And that may reveal to them that, oh, they're looking for healthy menu options, a great relaxing atmosphere. And so the restaurant might make changes in its menu, the decor, to fit into the needs of the customer. Is that clear to everyone? And there could be many more examples like this. So, for example, there are many more examples, and we can, look at, it also gives some of the companies competitive advantage. So, for example, if you're launching some cleaning products, you can see what are the competitors' products, and then you can see that how do you build a competitive advantage, either in terms of product or communication or positioning or placement, all of those things. So that is what the research tells us. So let's move on to the next thing. And that is, how do you build? Developing an MVP is very, very critical. So let's see. What is an MVP? It is a minimum viable product. It can help you validate your product ideas. It allows you to gather feedback now from the early adopters, which means that you have already created a product which maybe doesn't have all the features, but it has some features, and you are getting feedback from the market so that you can change it. And these people are called early adopters. जो सबसे पहले आपका product use करते हैं, they are called early adopters. And then based on their feedback, you refine the product, and then you relaunch it, or you just, keep adding features to it. So iteration and improvement is happening throughout the development process. Okay. So now again, let's look at some examples. Mobile app. Let's look at a mobile app. So let's say there is a weather app, and currently it only provides, though it's a weather app, but currently it's only providing temperature and a 5-day forecast. This is all. So this is, while we are calling it a weather app, but they have launched with only 2 features. One is, like I said, temperature and 5-day forecast. Now, this is something that can go to the market. The customers, the early adopters can use it and see and give feedback to the company and say, what are the other features they want? So this basic version of the app can be used to test the market, and later, based on the feedback, they can, whether they are looking for, what are the other features they're looking for, and then they can add those features. Let's look at an online marketplace. So the same example that we talked about, these young people clothing brand. Now they have already created that clothing, which is sustainable, eco-friendly, and they're also communicating it. So when they come out with a brand and they're aggregating all these clothing brands on their platform, what they do is, right now, the MVP, you can only see the listings, you can only see the pricing, but you can't order. So the MVP, if that much is happening, that is great. You don't need to build a full product. At least they are able to see the product and they can see the pricing, and then you can ask them what are the other features they want. And based on that, you can develop other products, other features. Okay. Then let's move on to the next step, which is conducting customer research. Now, like I said earlier, that this is something that you first, before developing the MVP, and then after developing the MVP, you need to do customer research, and they will validate the product concept. Whatever you have designed and you have launched it, they will validate this, whether this is working or not working, and they will give you feedback. And based on that feedback, you will improve the design of your product, and that will actually lead to the increased customer satisfaction, and that is what you want. And how do you do it? Same ways. You do surveys, you do focus groups, you do interviews. So this is an ongoing process, and you have to absolutely do it. So let's say there was a weather app that we talked about, and we gave, or let's talk about the company which was doing sustainable and sustainable clothing. and they launched a marketplace where they were aggregating these products, and now their MVP was only to show the products and the pricing. What can they do now after they have done the research? So what they do is that on the they start doing, let's say, seller ratings, that this is a product which is being used even in Amazon and all of that. You see that there is a rating for the seller. So that is the next feature. They realize from the research that that is very important to the customer to see that what kind of a seller is that product being sold by, whether they have good let's say a good review by the customers. So, that will help them build trust. And that is why customer ratings will become very important. Seller ratings will become very important for them. Then buyer protection and mobile app integration, the next feature they're looking at, because nobody is using laptops and desktops to order products. So that is why maybe mobile app integration becomes very important. And so the next feature that they develop is a mobile app integration. So this is how we move on by doing customer research and adding features to your product. Product iteration. Let's look at product iteration.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Sure.
So, ma'am, how do we conduct the surveys? I mean, there are certain online platform where we can conduct the survey. So, is this the only mean, or any other means you can guide us?
Okay, we'll come back to it because I think we are 2 more slides to go, and then we'll do the question answers. Okay. So now product iteration is nothing that every time you get a feedback, you make the changes and then you go back to the market and launch it. You must have seen in so many products that there is a certain feature, then that feature is removed and new feature is added. All of this is about product iteration, which is based on the feedback. But there is one step before that, which is like you have to be open for product iteration. Nahin, maine bana diya, this is a great product and this feature is great. No, whatever the market is telling you, that is right. Customer is the king and that is the key. So whatever the customer is telling you, because eventually the customer is going to buy, you and I are just making it. So we have to be open to iterating as many times as possible. So there has to be a continuous iteration process, and that will lead to a stronger product market fit, which will lead to increased customer satisfaction. So let's look at the online market that we were talking about. So now what we have done is that there are a number of items that are available for sale on the marketplace. Just one second. Oh, sorry. I think I already explained that, we can take up a mobile integration based on the customer feedback. So, but just remember that product iteration at every stage, all our lives, is extremely important. There is no product called a final product. Even in fashion industry, they come up with new products every year. They're twice a year, they're coming up with new products. So this is a continuous process. Finally, we come to see that how do we measure that this product is going to sell, or is it a success? So there has to be something that that tells us that these are the ways that we can measure the success. Again, going back, first of all, we have to establish a metrics, and some of the common metrics for product market fit are customer satisfaction, engagement, usage. All of these are in the digital world, and we have to do that. And then okay, so let's just go to, just pause for the questions. Let's go to the online marketplace again. And how do we measure the success of an online marketplace? So we will check how many listings are there on the online marketplace. So let's say now initially you had 10 products, now you have 100 products, and now you have 500 products. So the number of listings is one of the key metrics. Number of sales, what is the number of items that you're selling? Now, these number of items, how many are you selling on monthly basis? How many you're selling on daily basis? That is a very, very important metrics. Then let's see what is the average sale price. Some products will be 100 rupees, some will be 1000 rupees. So what is your average sales price every day? Let's say I am selling for 50,000 rupees and my average sales price comes to 500 rupees. So that is a very important metrics to track. Then we can also look at gross merchandise value. So basically the total amount of sales that you are doing on your marketplace. And finally, you can also look at the customer and seller, both of them, both of them are your customers. If you think about it, that the seller also has to be satisfied and the customer also, whoever is buying. So buyer and seller satisfaction is really important, for which if you have noticed that whenever you use Ola, Uber, or whenever you're using Amazon, you have to give rating to the driver, or you have to give rating to the product, or you have to give a rating to the to your experience. And this is for you to know that how satisfied your customers are. If they're not, so if you're constantly getting a rating of 2 and then there is a reason also why it is being rated at 2, then you have to fix that problem. All right. Then another thing that you can also look at is what is the return rate? How many times the product is coming back? And that also could be a problem, because that could be an added cost for you, because you have to now pick it up for free and deliver it for free. So how much of it is coming, how much of it is being returned? So you can talk to the seller that the quality of the product is not good, or probably there is a problem somewhere in the delivery process, that it is getting very late. And if it is a consumable item and it gets late and it gets spoiled, so you have to see maybe your supply chain is not working properly. So all of these things are important, and these are some of the metrics that you can look at, and finally fix them based on the customer feedback that you get. So these are some of the steps on building a good product market fit. Remember that first is the target market research, then you do the MVP, and after MVP again customer research. So you've launched the most basic product, and then you have done the customer research and feedback on how it is working. And then after that, you have to fix it or change it or reiterate it and then relaunch it. So, and slowly and gradually, you will increase your market sales. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now
Yes,
I think it would be a great idea if it's possible for you to turn on your videos while you're asking the questions, so that at least we can make a conversation if possible. Otherwise, it's all right. So yeah, you were talking about that. How do you do the research? So once you identify your market, there will be people in your market. So yes, you can do the surveys, and you can, so that is called primary research and secondary research. So you must have done part of both already before launching the product. Now, when you come to the next stage, surveys is one thing, but focus groups are very important. Interviews and focus groups are very important. Now, interviews are done one-on-one. So for example, if I am your customer, then you can fix up time with your 4 customers, you think. So 2 satisfied customers and 2 not so satisfied customers, or probably who hasn't come for repeat sales or whatever. And you have an in-depth interview with them on what did they feel about the product, how did they use it, what is it that they liked, what is it. So you have to have your questions ready based on the product that you have designed for them, and do 45 minutes of interview with them. Already, you should fix an appointment and everything so that they're able to give you that time. And in a very relaxed environment, you do that interview to understand. And that is going to give you what major insights into the product that you will be amazed. The other is that you can also bring 3-4 people together, and that is called a focus group. Again, the same question, but you're getting different opinions at the same time. So both of these ways of doing customer research are excellent. Surveys will give you the numbers and more superficial trends, which are also important. But to design a product, customer interview and focus group will be more helpful. Does that answer your question? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Diva, what is your question?
Yeah, good morning, ma'am. I just wanted to ask you if my customer are, say, kids, okay? So, if they are kids and they're not able to, describe themselves and what do they want, then how do I do the research?
So your customer is not the kid. Customer is the person who is paying for whatever you are selling to the kid. So there
No,
are
I
two kinds
understand.
of. So
No, I
you.
understand. Suppose in education field, suppose we are doing some educational seminars for students of the school.
Yeah.
Okay. So there, we may not be charging the school, but our is a CSIR initiative. So how do we get the feedback from the children?
You have to see, listen, remember that there is a feedback by everyone. Even if you go to a 2-year-old child and you give some toy, the child will pick up the toy, start playing with it, or throw it away. And that's a feedback. So when you go for a seminar to a school, and after your seminar, there should be a survey. First of all, the behavior of the students will tell you whether they were engaged or not engaged. That itself will tell you. If you have, suppose your seminar is in a way where you have different topics, you will see for which topic the students were more engaged, for which topic the students were less engaged. You will understand that this is a topic which is something that interests the students, and this is the one which is not interesting the students. So that is also a feedback. The other is that you can run a feedback form with them. Feedback questions. I always do that. Whenever I go for a seminar, after my seminar, I always ask them that, did you enjoy it? What parts didn't you enjoy? What parts did you enjoy? What can we do to make it better? So they will give you an open feedback when you ask them questions in very non-threatening manner. They will be able to give you that feedback. And the third is, of course, a more structured way where you have a written, let's say, form where you put some, and the form should be very short. In that form, most of the questions are tick, 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 and there could be 1 or 2 open-ended questions that any suggestions for us. So then that is where they will write that this is what they want to suggest. But the other things that you have designed the seminar, so you can ask questions on, was the duration of the seminar good, which were the topics that, so if you if there were 5 topics, then you can mention all 5 topics over there. And then the question could be, please tick on the topics that you enjoyed the most. Then there could be a question, that topics that you did not enjoy the most. All the topics are mentioned over there. They tick on the ones they like, they tick on the ones that they don't like that, and then finally you ask them some questions about the person who's delivering the seminar. Did you enjoy the way he or she was speaking? Was the speed okay? And finally, any suggestions. So keep it short. That is very, very important these days. But the key questions that you want to ask. But an informal feedback is always helpful. As soon as you finish the seminar, just spend 5 minutes on getting a feedback right away.
Okay, ma'am, thanks for your input. But if the feedback is too negative, then how to handle it?
Which means that there is a problem. Be open to the feedback.
Right.
So be open to the feedback and take the feedback seriously. If it is too negative, it means that there is something wrong with the product that you have built. Even if it is seminar, is also a product. So you have to then see that what are you going to do? How do you change your product, and work around it. So it's really good that the product, that the feedback is negative. Be more specific of what is not working. Once you know what is not working, then you will try to fix it.
Right. Thanks so much, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Sure. Any other questions?
Yeah, ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, Purnima.
Right now, these days, if you see the reviews are also made up. There are several agencies who will ask the customers to,
Yes.
rate such product, and you will get this much Paytm or this service.
Yes.
So is it really reliable if we go for the review, buy the review, or?
So yes, you were right that a lot of these reviews, digital reviews, are paid reviews. They may not, they will also form patterns, but if you know that these are paid reviews, especially when you're getting a feedback for yourself, please give them, if you have to pay them, you pay them to fill the feedback, not to give you a positive review. When you are giving to someone else, it's up to you what you want to do. But when you are getting a feedback for your own product, and at that time also it is sometimes very difficult to find people who are going to give a feedback. So that's why you say that, oh, you'll get so much money through Paytm to give the review. But make sure what the feedback that they give is not biased. So instead of getting 1,000 paid reviews, I would go for getting 15 or 20 real frank reviews on the product that I'm offering. And that will be more powerful than, conducting massive researches where you are giving money to people to, to answer your questions or whatever.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Ma'am,
Yes, Pallavi.
so I like your logo actually. So just wanted to tell you that it's quite simple and eye-catchy. So if you could tell me something about your work.
Okay. Like I mentioned in the beginning, that our logo is about, or our work is to connect girls in blue and gray collar segment to job opportunities. And what we do is that we engage with a lot of girls who are 12th pass from government schools and other marginalized communities who go for open college. And side by side, they're looking for jobs. So we don't provide any domestic help type of job because these girls are educated. We look for sales and telecalling, like online, offline sales and nursing support and those kinds of jobs. And then we connect them with the companies. That is the work that we do. And this work is done digitally. Currently, we also have just come up with our MVP. So our app is out, but it is MVP. It has very few features. We are getting feedback so that we are able to build the next round of app with more features. So that's what we do. And in terms of our logo, it's called Shri because it is for women. So that's why we use the word Shri. The 3 E's basically talk about entrepreneurship, education, and employability. So the education is around employability only and employment. So we have to find employment or connect them with employment. That's why there are 3 E's. We wanted to use modern colors, and we did not want to use every logo which is around women has a curve, has a face, has a bindi. We wanted, this is a generation which doesn't belong to different thought that the generation probably, was before them. That's why we've used modern colors and a dash of pink. We didn't want to make it fully pink. So a dash of pink, which gives them the wings. So the logo says the story of the work that we are doing. However, we've got all kinds of feedback on the logo. And as we raise money in the next round, probably we are going to redesign our logo based on the feedback that we get. So when we get feedback, we don't just get feedback on the work you are doing or the product, or you get feedback on everything. And Divya, to your point, we have got a lot of negative feedback on the logo. Pallavi, you are probably the first one who has liked our logo. Thank you so much, because we
actually, ma'am, this is the logo that is reflecting, like it is a genuine feedback. When I first saw the logo, it reflects that it is something related to women, and then the tagline, so it is reflecting your work. And I have been working with so many startups and companies. They thought कि logo अच्छा यहाँ इतना complicated होना चाहिए, इतनी design होनी चाहिए, and I always try to convince them that a logo has to be very simple, crisp, and clear. And this is what your logo is. It is very simple, but it is catching eye.
पल्लवी, आपने इसलिए ये सब चीजें पहचान ली क्योंकि आप डिजाइन करवाते हो। जो आप बोल रहे हो, हमने एग्जैक्टली यही ब्रीफ दिया था।
I actually also loved your logo, ma'am, because I always used to hate this thing, that everything which is related to women is pink. Why pink?
One, it is pink, and the second, it is curved. We didn't want
curved and pink, and why? Because women are just not pink; they can be blue, black, and orange also.
Absolutely.
So that's why I really loved your logo, and congratulations on this logo and the thought which has gone through it.
Yes,
So
and
don't change it. Don't change it. It's beautiful.
I think we should connect after this also, because we are looking for digital media and digital marketing and all of that. We are at that stage that we are looking for some of these things to work on. And probably my number is something that I can put here. Any other questions? I mean, हमने इतना personal मेरा struggle है PMF पे कि I feel that I'm an authority to speak about it because we did this and it didn't work, and we did this and it didn't work. So a lot of that doesn't work is basically we say that it didn't work is, oh my God, you feel so bad about it that it didn't work. But the fact is that that's the knowledge that you have gained. So Divya, don't get upset about when you get negative feedback. It is just telling you that this hasn't worked and you have to work harder, or you have to look elsewhere. Sometimes, you know, even the market is elsewhere. We are looking right, but the market is elsewhere. And it is very important to keep in mind who is going to be paying for the product. And they become your primary customers and everything is around that. So I understand that you're doing it through CSR. That's a different ballgame altogether. But if you were doing a paid thing, then remember that as much as the child who is going to give you feedback, it is also the parents who are equally important, because they will pay and they have to find value in what you are doing.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I understand that because the parents are the buyers. But actually, I have this, I've been doing it with my sister who's an environmentalist, that we have been doing the seminars in different schools and colleges for majorly for underprivileged children in government schools and all. So, but now since everyone is talking about disaster and things and coming close to India and all that, so we were trying to upscale it towards the disaster management training to the students of other schools also, for the private schools. So for that, we were looking for the feedback, and we have tried doing it in one of schools in private, but the students there have very negative feedback about the things that why should we do this? This is time waste. This is that, you know. And so that's why I was asking you.
So sometimes it is not the product which is bad. Probably we need to work more on the communication. So the question is that why do we need it? Maybe the product is good, but the way we are communicating that why do we need it needs more clarity. And then you design your communication strategy. So you have to see that what is the feedback coming and where is the feedback hitting? Is it on the product, or is it on the communication, or is it on pricing or placement? All of those things.
I think to connect with teenagers of, you know, so of 9th to 12th class about disaster management, because they don't think so that it is, you know, it is coming very soon and it is just in talks and all those things. So they feel that, you know, that is where we are, I think, lacking. That we've not been able to generate interest in that.
I don't agree at all. Not just teenagers. Nobody. You go and talk to another group of adults about disaster management and look at Turkey, what is happening. Is anyone going to sit and listen to you? No, till it happens to us, we don't think that this is going to happen to us. So you have to change your story. The way storytelling is an important part of selling your product. So you have to change your story. You have to tell them, you have to connect it to, for example, when you start telling them a story of saying that, you know, a kid, give that kid a name and all the features, that a 13-year-old girl or a 13-year-old boy got killed in Turkey or was rescued from the rubble after 3 days or whatever. So, you know, you have to start from there. And then you have to connect it to wherever you're going. So, for example, we also lie in a seismic zone. Delhi is in a seismic zone. And this can happen. There are so many times that we feel the tremors in and around Delhi. So if we are in a seismic zone, it may happen to us also tomorrow. What is the preparedness that we have for this? So it is basically storytelling is very important.
That is the reason. That is the reason we wanted to create awareness, and for that we need.
So your communication has to change. Yeah. This could be you tomorrow. So you have to make it relatable, and then you say that this could be you tomorrow. You know, today this rubble has fallen on some XYZ, but this could happen to you tomorrow. And how prepared are you? Are you prepared? So think I feel that there is not a problem with your product so much, but there is you need to do more work on communication.
So that means we have to clearly segment our customers.
Absolutely. That she has done. In her case, she has done that because those are teenagers between a certain age. So her now
But teenagers from government school and teenagers from private schools.
Agreed.
There's a lot of difference.
Sure. You have to build a persona. Like when I talk about she, I know my girl is 18 to 25-year-old. She comes from a government school. Her family income is anywhere between 1.5 lakhs to 5 lakhs per year. I know she is on Instagram. I know she is on where does she buy from? I know that she doesn't go to a mall to shop. I know what she does in her free time. She's chatting with her friends. I also know that her mother will not send her for a job all by herself. So that is how well you have to know your customer, that you are able to give her a name and say that this is the customer I am working for. Now let's see. How does she receive communication? Maybe I am doing communication on LinkedIn. My customer is not on LinkedIn. She's on Instagram or she's on Indian TikTok apps like Josh and all of that. So my communication has to be there. So that's how, what does she eat? What does she wear? Where does she shop from? That's what I need to know about my customer before I make a decision on how I'm going to communicate to my customer. Then you know what is the language she understands. In my case, my customer is not making the decision. Her dad is making the decision. Her mother is making the decision. So maybe my communication, just yesterday we revised a communication strategy to go to the parents. कि उसको permission लेने की बजाय, अगर उसको permission मिलेगा ही नहीं काम करने का, पर अगर उसके पापा और मम्मी उसको बोलने वाले हैं कि why don't you go and try that job? If they don't want to give permission to their daughter, they will never tell their daughter that there is an opportunity like this. But if they want their daughter to, so now in my persona, I also include the father and the mother. वो क्या करते हैं? वो टैक्सी ड्राइवर है या वो उबर चलाते हैं या वो गार्ड है या वो फैक्ट्री में काम करते हैं? I know everything about her father also. When I say all these things, I don't mean that I know about an individual, but with that, I've been able to create a persona of the parent of the family, and I know who to reach out for communication. This is where, the problem comes, that we are not able to build a persona. If we are not able to build a persona, we will not be able to identify these nuances. And communication is the key. Once you've designed the product, आप कितना भी अच्छा product बना लो, पर अगर आप अपने customer segment के पास नहीं पहुंच पा रहे तो वो fail हो जाएगा. So you have to get into their heads कि वो कैसे सोचते हैं.
Correct.
So that's what I have to say. Any
one more question I want to ask. Like, suppose a customer has already spent some money on some product, okay?
Yes.
But the thing, what he or she was expecting, she has not satisfied the product. And when again she want the same product from, like we are, suppose we are selling same product. So there will be lot of questions in the mind of this customer. So how to address that? Because पहले बात तो सुनना ही नहीं पसंद करेंगे. It's like हम बोल रहे हैं हाँ हाँ ठीक है ऐसा ही होता है.
आप प्रोडक्ट मुझे बताएंगे तो मैं और आपको स्पेसिफिक आंसर दे.
It's suppose like training, we are providing trainings to the students. So some students are already spent so much of money on some of the institutions, but whatever the feedback, they are not satisfied. And if we say that no, we will be providing you the services what actually we are promising you, but to convince them, it's really a very difficult task.
Absolutely, I agree. Selling is not easy.
Yes.
The most difficult thing is selling. And अगर negative feedback है और या फिर price point नहीं match कर रहा है या फिर dissatisfaction आपके first round of training से आया है. So to bring back a
not from our training, maybe from any other training institute.
Correct,
somewhere
correct,
else.
correct. तो वो बोलेंगे कि हमने वहां पे पैसा दे दिया और वहां पे कुछ हुआ नहीं. अब हम हमारा पैसा भी लग चुका है और हम आपके पास भी आए.
Yes. So
yes. Again, this is a sales thing, and it is the most difficult thing because we are all competing for the same pie. Now you are doing trainings. So there are offline institute, and let's say, for example, you are doing coaching for IIT students, जो बच्चे IIT की preparation कर रहे हैं. Or in case you want to tell me what is it, then we can talk about that directly.
Especially like training for embedded systems, especially जो हमारे microcontrollers based trainings होते हैं, that's training we provide. So mainly working on hardwares and different boards people has to train on. So in that case, it's really difficult because sometimes they pay the fees at very good institutions, like they have very good reviews and all those things, but they did not get what actually they are looking for. Okay, after spending 1 lakh or 2 lakh rupees on some training programs, now they are feeling like, oh, we are not that much of skillful. So
yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, I understand. So basically here what is happening is, one, I'll simplify this for the benefit of the audience, that there are other people also. So let's just say कि आप IIT की, मैं जहाँ से शुरू कर रही थी तो मैं IIT बोल देती हूँ कि आपने IIT JEE की तैयारी करवा रहे हो. अब उन्होंने बहुत सारे इंस्टीट्यूट में, आकाश में, इसमें उसमें पैसे भी दे दिए. First of all, just imagine who all are we competing with? We are competing with a lot of people who are doing online trainings. We are competing with a lot of institutes who are doing offline training. उनके centers खड़े हुए हैं. We are competing with people who are giving that training for 50,000, but we are also competing with people who are giving that training for 1 lakh rupees. So इतने सारे लोग हैं, उसमें हम भी आए हैं एक Me Too product लेके. पहली बात तो ये है कि whenever we enter the market with a Me Too product, we will struggle to find our place. So we have to, and the answers or what you are telling me is that हमने already वहाँ पे पैसे दे दिए हैं और वहाँ पे हमारा कुछ हुआ नहीं, तो आप क्या कर लोगे? और आपको हम दोबारा पैसा कहाँ से दें, क्योंकि हमने जो बजट बनाया था वो तो ऑलरेडी हमारा स्पेंड हो चुका है ना, उससे हम कुछ सीखें और सब all of those things. So first of all, we have to recognize that we are offering a Me Too product. How do we differentiate this product? What is the USP of my product? And can I give part of it? Then can you also say कि ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, आपने पैसे दे दिए, हम आपसे अभी पैसे मांग ही नहीं रहे, आप आके 4 सेशन फ्री में करिए. मान लीजिए आपकी ट्रेनिंग के 12 सेशंस हैं या 20 सेशंस हैं, तो आप उसमें से 1% उनको बोलिए, आप आइए, ट्राई तो करिए. You do 1, 2, 3 sessions, and then if you like it, you pay. You don't like it, you don't pay. That's one thing. The second is probably, you do something which the competitor is not doing. They're doing the same training, but probably you have attached jobs to it. Like, ये ट्रेनिंग करने के बाद में आपको 100% जॉब मिल जाएगी या 80% जॉब, whatever. So there is something, another feature which you have added to your training. So you have to differentiate yourself either in the offering, or you have to differentiate yourself in the way you are selling it. And so giving a free something in the beginning, it could be a great idea कि आप, हाँ भाई, हमारे साथ में 2 सेशन आप ट्राई तो करके देखो, हम आपको फोर्स थोड़ी ना कर रहे. And then they might realize that what you are offering is much better than what the others are offering. And maybe it is worth the trial. So you have to sit and brainstorm with your whole team that what are the things that you can do. And also look at the competitor, what all competitor is doing. Usme kahan pe gap reh gaya hai? Can I fill in that gap? So you have to do a lot of soul searching before you go back to your customer and say, oh, yeah, this is the offering and this is how it is different from the others. Every market now has become a Me Too. Every market is a cluttered market and a Me Too market. How do we stand out in that Me Too market is a challenge that we have to solve. वो ऑलरेडी पैसे, आप तो 1 लाख की ट्रेनिंग की बात कर रहे हो, मेरे पास तो 20 रुपए है और मैं डेयरी मिल्क, मेरे को चॉकलेट खरीदने जाना है और मुझे सबसे पहले डेयरी मिल्क दिख गई, मैंने डेयरी मिल्क खरीद ली. अब चाहे दूसरा इससे बढ़िया चॉकलेट बेच रहा है, मेरे तो 20 रुपए खत्म हो गए ना. Yes. How do I then make that change? That am I positioned or am I placed in a way that as soon as I enter the shop, my product is the first product that is seen? Or should I change the channel altogether? I'm not selling through these offline shops. I am going to only sell it through online, or I'm going to bring in some value to my product, which says that this is healthier, it does not have these ingredients, this is how it is made, and I sell it as a sustainable product. Do I sell it to the customer and tell them, look, I care for the earth. Do you care for the earth? Let's buy this product if we care for the earth. So, there's so many things that can be done. And but this is for you and your team to first look at what you're offering. You also have to look at what the competitor is offering and where the people. So you may not be able to get Renu because she's already paid, but you will be able to get Divya who is considering. So Renu kya karegi? Yeah, maine nahi kiya. And what you will tell Renu that you do it for free. You do your 2 sessions, 3 sessions for free. After that also she says, look, I really like it, but I've already paid. I don't have the money. So either you say installment mein pay kar do, ye kar do, wo kar do, or yeah, discount de denge hum aapko. But then you can also tell Renu that, okay, if you can't pay, can you refer someone else? So while I'm not able to pay, I may refer Divya. I may tell Purnima that why don't you go sign up for Nirmala's classes instead of these other classes? I want to go classes. So there are different ways of looking at it. But yeah, it requires a longer conversation with your team and analyzing your competitor really well. Does that
Sometimes what we do, like we train the people, we have studied this thing, then we contacted companies because they want skilled manpower.
Exactly.
So we
That's what I
charge
said.
from companies sometimes it depends whether if some 10 to 15% of students they comes in this way. So we channelize in we ask money from companies to pay for the trainings for those students.
Yeah.
So it could be but it's really very difficult to
All heart to you because this is difficult, but this has to be done. Right?
Yes, ma'am, yes, thank you.
Any other questions, or I think our time is up. We can close it. Rahul, it seems like.
Yes, ma'am. I think we can conclude now.
Okay. So thank you
Thank you.
everyone for your
Thank
questions
you.
and being here today. It was good talking to you.
Thanks to
you
you,
so much,
ma'am,
ma'am.
for guiding them.
All right. Okay. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Have a good
Thank you.
Participants, we will rejoin at 4 p.m.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you.